here. Today we're looking at this lovely dress. So what I have here is my basic pattern, but my pattern has an above that, you know, which is a dart on the shoulder, you know. So what I did is I did a cut at the waist to separate my down from the up. I'm going to do all my styling and all that at the down, and then before I add the up, then I add the down to it. Then let's look at this up pattern now. My pattern is on fold because that's what I need. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer my darts this way, all my darts. So initially, you see my hand. I actually thought of I could transfer it to the armhole and then transfer it back and then blah, blah. I don't go through all that. So I'm going to transfer this dart here, this dart here, you know. So even if your pattern does not have an A dart, you have only darts here, what you do is you send your dart up. It's the same result you're going to get. It's just that your fullness won't be as full as mine is, but it's going to still look good. So let's do that to transfer my dart, because my pattern is my pattern is on fold. I'm going to first separate it and work with one because it's easy that way. So looking for my pencil here, I'm cutting a line here this way, and then I'm cutting another line here this way. So I have two lines cut. I have two lines cut. So I'm closing my waist start. See what I did. I just lapped it. In lapping it, I've just taken it out. So this is where my line of my dart ended. So I'm putting this one up here. Ignore this because this dart was actually contoured. That's what my people do in the shop. They just sort of contour for me if I want to work with, but I didn't need a contour pattern here. So I've sent this dart upwards. The next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to send this one here. So I'm closing this and sending it there. You know, so I have both of my darts here now. I'm going to just put okay, so my dart is here. That's my first step. That's my first step. See what I did here. I transferred this darts up. I transferred my shoulder dart here. You know, so my darts are both up now. The next thing I'm going to do now is to fill it up. I'll use my paper and fill up the space. What I'm doing now is I'm marking a line here. I'm cutting. I'm adding a piece of paper as I cut. I'm adding paper here. I think this space is good. I'm looking at my space is like 1.5 inch. I think I like 1.5 inch. So I'm gonna do 1.5 inch. See what I have here now. Remember I sent my darts this way. What I did, I just cut this open and then added paper on top. In between here I have like 2 inches, 1.5. That's what you can do. And then you remember that our pattern is supposed to be on fold. This is on fold now of our fabric. But to add more fullness, everything I've added here now is at the top of of my dress. Now the down part, I don't want it to be this fitted, so I'm going to add to it. To add to it, this is what I'm going to do. This is like this is a straight line. I'm going to push this away now and add, I'm looking at like 4 inches here. So I'm going to add this now to my pattern. So because we're recording and all that, there's no way I can do this at the edge of my table. That's why I'm doing it with a ruler. But you can put it at the edge of your table and then push this part off to 4-5 inches here, still remaining. This is actually the other part. This part still remaining at a straight point, you know, or we can add a little. I think I've decided to add a little. I think I'm going to add like 1 inch here, but this pushed off. So let me put paper there and show you what it looks like. You know, see, I have this is about 6 or 5 inches. This is 6 inches. So you can do 6, you can do 5 inches, depends on you. Then this is the length of my tie. You know, I think I'm going to add a little bit because I want it to drop a bit behind. You know, I'm going to like them, and I think I like that look. So what I'm doing now is sellotaping it in place. Sellotaping it in place, and our pattern is ready. So the next thing to do now, because this is a dress, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to it, to the down of my pattern. You know that this is our original pattern now. This is how it's supposed to be, but because at the end of the day this is going to add to the freeness of the dress, so I'm going to sort of fill it up to this point. This dress, I don't want it to be very long. I'm looking at 37. This is about 37. So I'm going to open up. My pattern is on fold, thankfully. So I'm going to open up my pattern now and seal it. And then you notice that the down of my dress, it's actually went in a little bit, as in it's sort of like a pencil shape. I don't want that. What I'll do is I'm going to allow it to be, it's going to be a straight down. This side is going to be straight down. So I'm going to sort of fill that out. So now this, let me use my ruler to do it. This is straight. I'm cutting it out and adding a little to the side of my dress. I'm only hoping that the fabric I have is actually enough to be able to cut this out. If it's not really enough for me to do it exactly completely, I might have to join do a little bit of that. I don't know. Let's go to fabric. My fabric isn't very much, you know, because of this pandemic thing and lockdown and all that. We've not been able to get fabrics the way we usually get. So I've been working with what I have. You know, that's what we've been doing. So this is what I was meaning, you know. So what I'm going to do now is cut it out on fabric. Okay, we're cutting out our dress. My thigh being long, my thigh is long, so I went in this way like this, so because just going that way, you now see why. Then I went in like this. I've gone in like this to end here, so I'm cutting out this way. Then this is see the end of our pattern here. See where our pattern ended. See our pattern, meaning I have to go in to get there, because if I take from here, I'm going to have a hang at my neck. So that's why I'm going in up to this way. Then I'm cutting out. Then I'm cutting this out. I think we're good. This is my back pattern. I thought I should explain this. This is my normal back pattern. Our back has a seam because number one, our fabric isn't enough, and having a seam behind is beautiful because of the line. It's contoured. So I have a shoulder dart here. So my shoulder dart, I'm going to sort of just mark in so that we sew it out. Is it important to do it? Yes. It affects the fit of the cloth. If you want a beautiful fit, put the shoulder dart behind you. So this is basically it. I'm not I didn't cut anything at the back and all that because I have a lot at the front. I'm just going to join it. My name is B Africana. Now, you know, I'm looking at where's my front. So we're joining. We have a notch here. We have a notch here. So we're joining here to here. So let me just allow this notch to meet the other one. Okay. So I'm going from here. I'm going from here to meet this other one. So I'm sewing straight to get to the end of my strap. So it's a rope that's tying around my neck, so just stitching it, and then I'm taking out the excess, you know, notching. That's scissors. So I'm doing the same thing here. So this notch, I'm taking my notch a little bit in, then I'm just running. So I'm going like this. See what I'm doing? I'm actually sort of opening here out, opening it out like this. Same thing that we did the other way. I'm just doing sewing our ropes, and then is to turn it. Now I'm just using my scissors to turn, since as I said I don't have any other thing to use. So I'm just pushing it through, you know, making sure that if you're using your scissors, you have to be careful. You don't want the scissors poking through your fabric, you know. So I'm going to sort of go back so that I can get it out. So I've gone and brought it out, you know. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join my shoulders. So I'm joining the shoulders
How are you?
Close the sides. My shoulder, look at my darts. My shoulder darts are nicely done and ironed, you know, so I'm sewing the shoulders. And then so